Welcome to YellBro Road. I am Jordan, and today we're gonna have some fun. AKA, we're gonna listen to Mark Levin and his gripes with Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes. But first, don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Also, please check out the Discord link if you want to join that. We are in that Discord right now. All opinions are welcome, so please join up if you feel like. And everything I show you in this video will be linked in the description box. This is probably the thing I'm going to play here because more news worthy of the idea of annexing the West Bank, which is, we already know that was the plan from the Israeli government. We already knew that. And the reasons for not doing it yet are obvious. It's PR. It's PR where the U.S. is trying to help them with PR, say, hey guys, don't do this right now because everyone's looking at you. It looks bad. So just wait, be patient. All of a sudden, no one will care about what's happening to Palestinians anymore. They won't care anymore. Just trust me. I announced this peace deal, even though Israel's not really following that peace deal. Neither is Hamas, as far as I understand. Uh, but the peace deal was enough for people to be like, all right, guys, all right. Maybe the Israel-Gaza thing's over. The genocide is over. We can go back to sleep, guys. Nah. So honestly, that's what I believe the Israeli government and the U.S. government are doing. They're waiting for you guys to forget, and then they go back to work, destroying other people. All right, let's play this clip. Here we go.
תהיה או לא תהיה ריבונות, מרי? אני מאמינה שבסופו של יום תהיה ריבונות. גם הממשל האמריקאי מבין שאין דרך אחרת. לצערי זה לא העת. לצערי זה לא העת כרגע. אבל תהיה ריבונות. דרך אגב, אנחנו, משרד התחבורה, ואני עושה ריבונות דה פקטו ביהודה ושומרון, כי אם תסתובבי שם, תראי את כמות הכבישים, ואת העוקפים, ואת התאורה, שאנחנו עושים ובונים ביהודה ושומרון. ריבונות חייבת להיות ביהודה ושומרון. את אומרת שאת מקווה שהאמריקאים יבינו, ואני רוצה להראות לך רגע את טראמפ.
As you can see, that is also PR and marketing. When they say Judea and Samaria, they mean Gaza and the West Bank, but they're naming it what they would want to call it already, so that when it happens, it's just normal. It was already ours. What are you guys talking about? What? Who? There's no such thing as Palestinians. Like, please point on the map where their country is, huh? Where are these so-called Palestinians from, huh? That is, they're gonna do that in my opinion in a slow drip way, and once again, repeating the names Judea and Samaria is a part of that. Just put it in the minds of people and keep it building and building until that's just the normal name of it. Right? Here we go.
ריבונות חייבת להיות ביהודה ושומרון. את אומרת שאת מקווה שהאמריקאים יבינו, ואני רוצה להראות לך רגע את טראמפ. הוא אומר בצורה שאינה משתמעת לשתי פנים, ריבונות לא תהיה, קבלי.
I will not allow Israel to annex the West Bank. No, I will not allow it. It's not going to happen.
Did you speak with Netanyahu about this directly?
Yeah, but I'm not going to allow it. Whether I spoke to him or not, I did. But I'm not allowing Israel to annex the West Bank.
Well, someone tell Trump he has to leave office in like 3 years. So, good luck. Wait, you think plans drop after like a couple years go by? No. You just re-up it in the next. If this president isn't going to go along with something, even though I think he is, I think he's just doing PR for himself because, let's be real, their administration has taken a lot of L's. A lot of L's. They've lost some, say, key allies, if you will, like a Thomas Massey or a Rand Paul or a Marjorie Taylor Greene, where people look at those guys as being moral and authentic. I'm not saying that. The fans are saying that. And because they view them that way, when they see them going against your agenda, they're going to be looking at Trump like, yo, what the fuck, Trump? What happened to America first, bro? What the hell? What happened to the Epstein files, Trump, huh? Why are we bombing Venezuela? What's going on? Right? And for him, it looks good to him for him to say, they will not annex. They will not happen. Meanwhile, you just call it a different name other than annexation. Call it something different. Let the same thing happen anyways. You don't think settlers, like, oh no, it's not. When the IDF is like, protecting them, they have their own guns too, these settlers. And when the IDF puts their hands out, like, we're not knocking down houses, we're not taking over land. It's the settlers, it's private citizens, they're doing that. We got nothing to do with it. Meanwhile, you don't actually prosecute these guys. You let them do whatever the fuck they want, apparently. And they encroach, and eat up more territory. And then sooner or later, where'd all the Palestinians go? What Palestinians? I don't see any Palestinians. What are you talking about? Where are they? Where'd they go? They're not here. They're not here. Maybe they're somewhere else. Maybe look in Libya somewhere. Look in Sudan somewhere. Maybe that's where these so-called Palestinians exist now. I'm just saying. Either way, let's move on to this devil worshiper named Mark Levin. Now, I did one video with this guy in it. It was him interviewing Josh Hammer, and I think you can probably guess what that conversation was like. And now it's apparently Marky Boy by himself talking about Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes. This dweeby fuckface right here is going to lecture someone else on how sick they are. I assume he means like pathological. This pathological little dweeb is going to tell other people that they should be more mentally healthy by leaning in his fucking direction with his devil-worshipping fucking foreign policy. Get the fuck out of here. Either way, we're here for fun, aren't we, guys? This is for fun. Let's lock in. Here is Mark Levin, Tucker Fuentes, sick and getting sicker. Here we go.
May I say, you're not going to want to miss a nanosecond of this program.
Looks like a dweeb. He talks like a dweeb.
It's Friday. A lot of
Fake
people
tough
start
guy,
tapping the
pussy.
brakes. I don't tap the brakes. My foot is down fully to the ground on the gas pedal.
Uh-oh.
I get a lot of questions, a lot of inquiries by good people, kind people, smart people, red-blooded Americans about how we've gotten to the point where people like Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes have followings of any kind, given the fact that they're so vile and hateful to Jews and Christians, to red-blooded Americans, that they promote Hitler and Stalin or promote guests that promote Hitler and Stalin. Why they're so disrespectful and vile against the greatest generation that won World War II. Why they side with Hamas and the Islamists against Israel.
This guy.
Why they side with an ideology that attacked us on a 9/11. Why they're now endorsing Mandami, a Marxist Islamist. People ask,
I'm sorry, bro. This guy's actually like comical. He is pure comedy, bro. Holy fucking shit. I mean, God worked hard on this one. He's like, all right, I'm going to make a Mark Levin and put him on Earth. Watch this. Give him a dweeby look with a dweeby voice and let him become a prominent figure in the, most famous country in the world. Like, yeah, let's do that. That's good. God's like, here's an IQ test, guys. If you fall for this, we might bring on the apocalypse. If you fall for Mark Levin, it's just everything about him is just trash, bro. And he's not even like a Timmy Pool where they have to like hide their creepiness, like hide the creepy ideas that guys like that support. This guy's just out in the open. It's like, yeah, fucking kill him. He'll say that, bro. This guy would say some shit like that. Yeah, I don't care if they're fucking kids. Get rid of them. like in a fake bravado, fake tough guy voice, bro. Who made this fool? All right, here we go.
I mean, why?
Christ.
And I believe the problem is that not enough of our fellow citizens are actually educated about these two people and others, but two at a time.
Pause.
And so what I'm about to do is a public service. From sea to shining sea, all over the country, hell, all over the world, on every one of my platforms.
This is immaculate.
Because
Shout out to
bullies
Sebs for posting this shit.
only get away with what they do when the people don't know what they're doing. Let's start this way.
This man is, out of his fucking mind. It's like play the violent horror sound, violin sound effect, bro. Holy fucking Christ, this guy's actually batshit. All right, here we go. I just have to point that out.
What kind of a man, father,
Oh my God.
husband, attacks another man's family,
Who?
uses their platform to attack another man's family?
Who are you talking about?
In my case, my stepson, who is a patriot to this country, who has been asked twice by President Donald Trump to serve 2 separate ambassadors in the state of Israel, viciously attacked for an hour
Who?
by Tucker Carlson, using a guest, a left-wing hostile guest from the State Department who apparently was fired, but not by my stepson, as a foil to try and smear my stepson.
Who
What
the
kind
fuck?
of man is that? Tough guy or a coward? I ask.
Who the fuck is his stepson? And who's this leftist intelligence guy? I don't know. Like, Kariakou? Like, who the fuck's he talking about? Actually, lost here. All right, let's find out. Here we go.
All you fathers out there. I ask all you men out there. I ask you mothers out there.
If he doesn't
Is
say,
that
I'm gonna
fair
look it up.
play? Just asking questions. I've never, ever had a negative word to say about any of his sons, including Buckley Carlson, who works for the vice president. Never. And I never
Shit.
will.
Exposed.
You lack morality. You lack character. You're mentally unhinged.
I have to. I have. Who the fuck is this? David Milstein? Who? I guess. Okay, David Milstein. Okay, all right. Like I was covered in a video. I'm trying to remember which one I did, where he was in it. But here we go.
When you use your platform
Fuck.
to viciously and connivingly and cowardly go after somebody's son who can't defend himself overseas while he's in safe rooms while the enemy of our country's shooting ballistic missiles into Israel.
For Christ's sake.
Even if I had a disagreement with the vice president, and God knows I have a lot of disagreements with Tucker Carlson, it would never occur to me to drag his son or children into this.
Well, I mean, just being honest here, if all things were fair, both his kid working for the vice president, apparently not doing shit, and your stepson, I guess, hiding in bunkers while Iran's bombing Israel over there, I bet he's full of shit too, or at least an idiot. I think they should both be kind of shit on, right? They have officially entered the arena of politics, right? They work at these places. Should we just keep our mouth shut? No. But once again, I'm saying that to a fucking ghost at this point because if this guy would not listen to that, he knows what he's doing. He knows he has an agenda. He knows that he will lie, he will cheat, he will steal for the sake of whatever devil worshipping thing he's into. For the sake of his other gangster teammates. That's the way this guy fucking sounds. He's like a throwback too. He just lets it fucking fly, man. He is like a Bill O'Reilly style motherfucker. And also he is hilarious. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised when he gets done with shows, he like just laughs about like these fucking people buy this shit. Ha 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 ha. Fucking shit. I would not be surprised. It's too theatrical. It's like Alex Jones almost. Like so theatrical where it's like there's no way you're serious, right? There's no way I can take you seriously. And the ideas that are spewed afterwards are just as bad, just as laughable. Our enemy. The guys you shot at first, shot back. We're allowed to shoot them. They can't shoot us. Okay? That's how things work. Here we go.
No man does that. Nobody. Except him. Because he's a punk without standards. Thinks he can talk his way out of everything. He's the Jerry Springer of the podcasters. Except he's Jerry Springer in a brown shirt.
Oh, my God.
That's what he is. He's a joke. And he's platformed. He's given access to thousands and thousands of students at Turning Point USA. Why? I'm going to get into this. But before I get to him, I want to...
But listen. He gets those audience because those kids like Tucker, and they don't like you. You're a fogey. You're a dweeb. You're a trash can. Like, you just spew fucking venom out on your fucking programs. No one wants to fucking hear you except other devil worshippers. That's it. Here we go.
I deal with Nick Fuentes. This prepubescent Adolf Jr., and he's probably proud of all that.
See if you can roast people.
I want you to listen to a montage, America. We're going to educate everybody about this.
Oh, shit. He's got a mixtape.
Praising Hitler.
Yo, I told you, Nick fans, bro. Anyone can make a mixtape on that fool. Now, I'm not going to say, like, Mark Levin is too trash to maybe win people over, but he might win some. Might win some over just by showcasing this stuff. Look how bad this guy is. See, I have a point. Why is everyone mad at Mark Levin for, huh? Look at Nick Fuentes. Look what he's doing. You hear this stuff, huh? You can just play it on loop over and over and over again. And regular people are going to say, yeah, Nick Fuentes is trash. Fuck that guy. All right, here we go.
On the Milk Bar TV on X. And throughout this, you're going to see that we have to blurp and bleep much of what he sends about black people. He uses the N-word endlessly, uses the F-word endlessly. And this is the person I want you to keep in the front of your mind. Of all the guests that Tucker Carlson could have brought on his program, this is the one that he said he's most curious about, that he wants to present to all of his viewers and listeners. Because he has questions, you know. Cut one, go.
Look, I'm not obsessed with Hitler. I really don't even know that much about him. Buddy, it's Führer Friday. It is Hitler Friday. Shut up. It is Heil Hitler Friday. Heil Hitler. All my Nazis. Heil. Hitler was a pedophile and kind of a pagan. It's like, well, he was also really cool. So, you know, time to grow up. We're not children anymore. Am I right? Am I right? Let's go. He was also really cool. And any boy knows that. Anybody that watches these videos where he's rolling down the street and stuff, it's like, this guy's awesome. This guy's cool.
Just American general?
Hitler. Oh, American.
Sent $10. Up pointing finger.
If we're going to say Hitler bad, then I'm going to say Churchill bad, and I'm going to say Roosevelt bad, and I'm going to say they're all bad. But if we look at him as a product of his time in that moment, you know, we have to judge him with those things in mind.
Hitler was an incredibly ambitious, aggressive risk taker. Given your qualifications, would you thereby say that Hitler is a good leader?
It's indisputable he is. Indisputably. You could even say he's evil. He made Germany great again. second semester, I got home in the spring and I was like, Mom, Dad, Hitler was awesome. Hitler was right. And the Holocaust didn't happen. And my parents were like, we cannot believe what you are saying. We did not raise you like this. I'm like, I can't believe you're not being chill about this. It's 1 hour to cook a.
So most of these are definitely jokes. Come on, Bart. You have infinite playlists, but what does he focus on? This shit. Of course. Either way, here we go.
Batch of cookies, and you have 15 ovens, probably in 4 different kitchens, right? Doing 24 hours a day, every day for 5 years. How long would it take you to make 6 million? I don't know. It certainly wouldn't be 5 years, right? The math doesn't seem to add up there. The math doesn't quite seem to add up there. I don't think you'd result in 6 million. Maybe 200 to 300,000 cookies. And I think the Red Cookie Association said something like that, probably 200 to 300,000 cookies baked, probably. And in addition, in this hypothetical, I imagine that if you took aerial photographs over the kitchens, you would need to see certain smokestacks to release the smoke from baking the cookies. And the smokestacks would project certain shadows, but I guess they're not visible in the aerial photographs taken over the kitchens. Moreover, if you look at the soil texture, it's really not deep enough for mass cookie storage underground. And so there's a lot of things, in the cookie kitchen, they say that the ovens are wooden and they have windows on them and they're not totally secure. And the ovens that they use, they actually did sort of an ad hoc use of that particular kind of oven, even though they made a perfectly good design for ovens for a different purpose, for delousing. I mean, for something else. So none of it really adds up. I don't know. It just kind of doesn't really make sense, this crazy cookie analogy. So 6 million cookies, But it's like 6 million degrees. It's like an oven in here. It's like 6 million degrees. I'm feeling like a chocolate chip cookie. Feels like an oven in here. Feels like an oven disguised as a studio, but is actually a death chamber. I hope I'll be okay. I hope it's not some sort of genocidal torture device. That would be terrible. Anyway, but it seems unlikely. That seems like that would not make a lot of sense. But anyway.
Dingbat.
Mm-hmm. You want to debate that guy? Should I bring him on my program? Should I give him airtime? Really? What are we going to debate?
Shit.
Is that what you folks want to hear? 27-year-old psychopath? Nazi?
He's fucking crazy.
Racist? Is that entertaining?
He's genius. I'm sorry. Mark Levin is fucking brilliant, bro. He's a fucking genius. This is it's what's that thing Elon says? It looks so fake it has to be real. That's what I don't see with Mark Levin. Like, holy fucking Christ, he's brilliant. the drama, the dramatics behind all of it. Brilliant, man. Here we go.
Before our friend Charlie Kirk was assassinated, Nick Fuentes had been harassing him, had been abusing him, cursing him for years. Charlie didn't want his gropers, the Fuentes brown shirts,
gropers
anywhere near Turning Point
shirts.
USA. Nowhere.
Holy fuck.
And they would sneak in anyway, as they've been sneaking in, asking questions of people who've substituted for him. Let's take a listen to this. Cut 2, go.
Whether he chooses to confront me or not, whether he has dignity and honor or not, it's just a matter of time. My ideas are already there. I've already impregnated your organization. I took Turning Point USA and I it. I took your organization, I took your baby, Turning Point USA, and I it. And I've been in it. And that's why it's filled with groypers. That's why your whole crew, that's why the people around you, that's why your chapter presidents, that's why your attendees, they're all groypers. So whether you choose to confront me or not over the honor of your Turning Point USA, it's immaterial to me.
See, that's actually funny. Like, Nick thinks that because younger people are talking about Israel now, he thinks he's the reason for that. He out of his fucking mind. Like, I'm thinking like the genocide thing happening and everyone talking about it. I think that's why. And you're like, there are people giving Nick credit for all this stuff, which is just beyond me. Didn't hear too many like foreign policy arguments from Nick Fuentes about why, like, about, you know, shitty things Israel does, you know, in the Middle East. You're more likely to hear about the USS Liberty and why they own our politicians. Epstein, right? You're more likely to hear that shit. But okay. And he has a role to play. He's part of it, but he's not the reason, bro. like, actually, honestly, like, Israel's the reason why kids are asking about Israel, because of their fucking actions. And now everyone sees it. They're getting it on their phones for free. All right, here we go.
Like it. I just get a sick satisfaction out of it because I like to win. But we're already there. And this whole ideology, Zionism plus free market, it's dead either way. You know it. I know it. Pretty much the whole world knows it's over. In the last 7 years, who's moved closer to who? Could anybody accuse me of stealing Charlie Kirk's ideas? No. Has Charlie Kirk every step of the way moved in degree closer to me? Tried to ape my bit, my ideas, my style? Oh, no question. No question.
Yeah,
we
right.
already own you. We own you. We own Turning Point USA. We own this movement. Whether you decide to have dignity about it and face me or not, that's up to you.
Wow.
That's something you'll have to tell your children. When Nick Fuentes became the future, when the Groypers took over the movement, did you take a valorant last stand?
Right. There's already people, you know, shitting on Israel's foreign policy and all that stuff, and the U.S. entanglement with their foreign policy. But if they get a whiff of your other shit, Nick, they're going to tell you to go fuck yourself. I already listened to these. There's like a panel of these military dudes, you know, tatted up, you know, the Valhalla guy and his friends, and who are Ian Carroll was there, I guess. But they were like, yeah, he got some things correct on Israel, man. But what he says about women, though, like, he can go fuck himself. Like, it's like, but yeah, he has like, they have like a whole incel thing going on attached to the Israel stuff when it comes to women, other ethnicities, and all that shit. The neocon South America stance he has, you know, the idea of conquering and colonizing. Yeah, they don't like that. And they shit on you for that. And just like the whole thing with Israel, where people are getting video footage of a genocide, you'll be on people's video tapes on their phones too. With a mixtape by someone who isn't dumb fuck, devil worshipping Mark Levin. It'll be someone with some credibility to their name. And they're going to show it to everyone. And then you're wrecked. You're going to have to come out and apologize, most likely. Most likely. In fact, you should probably parlay off of fucking Kanye apologizing. And just like, hey, man, you know what? In solidarity with my bro Kanye, I'm going to apologize for all these things I've ever said. In which case, you will lose the groypers of your groyper audience. Right? Like, you're fucked either way. Either you're going to lose your new viewers when they find out all the shit you've ever said that could be put in a fucking mixtape, or you're going to lose your groypers for apologizing for it. I mean, I'm sure some will stick around anyways because they built a statue of you in their psyches. But I think a good amount of them will be like, yo, Nick ain't based anymore, bro. He's too pussy for this shit. He got famous and he said, fuck you guys. You know what? Screw you, Nick. I'm going to take over. And then so they'll build a new statue of someone else. There we go.
Were you courageous? Were you bold? Did you go down swinging, or did you go down like, did you run and hide? That's the only thing when you're explaining that to your family, Mr. Family Man. When you're explaining to your wife, when she's saying, why won't you just debate Nick Fuentes? And you got to explain to her. When your kids grow up, why didn't you just confront Nick Fuentes? You got to explain to them why you were afraid, why you were a coward. That's the only difference. Immaterial to me. We already won.
Because Charlie Kirk was a class act. He wanted nothing to do with you low-life turd on the bottom of a shoe. Oh, I've got more. You've got to listen to this. Because in the end, Tucker Carlson promoted this guy and promoted what he said.
Amen.
So here is Nick Fuentes, if that is his name, attacking again
That is his
and
name.
relentlessly for years. Charlie Kirk, who says, I'm not platforming you, I'm not debating you, I want nothing to do with you. Cut 3, go.
I think a lot of people are starting to find out Charlie Kirk is not the patriot that he says he is. And so I look at what happened last night, and I think to myself, this is totally a doable operation. You know, Charlie Kirk, in the grand scheme of things, is just some idiot. The dog is terrified. I had to go upstairs and reassure him because I'm screaming at my screen, calling Charlie Kirk a bitch and everything. The contrast could not be more clear. Charlie Kirk is a totally unexceptional human being. A moral struggle that's happening on the higher dimension, right? Which is Christ versus the devil. Who does Charlie Kirk serve? You know, is he really a Christian? Is he really Christ-like when he supports foreign wars and Israel and all this? Look at the people he's taking money from. You know, so the guy's a fake Christian. The guy's not a patriot. He hates our country. He's un-American. Let's focus all our firepower on Charlie Kirk. Why are we doing this? It's because Charlie Kirk is a fake patriot, a fake Christian, and he hates his people. He's anti-white. This is our angle. We talked about Charlie Kirk's dual allegiance to Israel. The almighty Oz, you know, the massive head with the tiny face behind the curtain, Charlie Kirk, lording over the conservative movement. Remember, the goal is to expose the globalism, the fake conservatism of Charlie Kirk. People see that Charlie Kirk is not a real conservative. He is not a real nationalist. He is not a real Christian. And that is simply the truth. We humiliated Charlie Kirk last night. We took Gotham's White Knight, we brought him down to our level. We didn't exactly flip him, but we definitely humiliated him. We took one of their best and we made him a laughingstock. Charlie Kirk is not an honest...
Yeah, I understand there's a lot of dick riding of Nick Fuentes as of recent, but like it has to be considered, like, that is weird, right? Where he's saying these things, then he dies and he changes his fucking tune up. So you're telling me you do these things for like games or something? What are you doing? Is it all strategy, Nick? Like, what are you doing? Are you bullshitting your audience? He's a fake Christian. And then when he dies, Charlie was the best of us. He's the truest version of Christianity you could believe it ever. That has to look crazy to people, right? I hope. Here we go.
Broker, not a conservative.
He just let Mark Levin have a fucking
and Turning
point.
Point USA exists to control the conversation. Charlie Kirk was totally unhinged, and I think the guy has Asperger's, so he might have trouble with that. It has to play into this narrative, has to play into the framing that Charlie Kirk and Turning Point are not right-wing. They're not conservative. You know, Charlie Kirk gets asked a tough question, and he reverts back to Israel, God bless Israel, Israel's the best, you know. He malfunctions. He can't do it because I think he has Asperger's. I believe that. We acknowledge that Charlie Kirk is not conservative. He's destroying the country, and we can all agree that we have to put a stop to that, right? Charlie Kirk is and a coward, so we've got him checked on both fronts. It is worth mentioning the Dan Crenshaw...
That's enough. He does this for years. And Charlie's a class act. Charlie's a class act. You've heard this, so I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, why would Tucker Carlson...
So theatrical.
...platform Nick Fuentes? Tucker Carlson knows all about Fuentes, knows what he said about Charlie and his family, knows all about this. Why would he do that? Because he's a lowlife with no principles and no morals. He'll do anything for a buck. Anything.
Oz.
Sell out his country, sell out a friend, stab him in the back, bring
Pause.
Charlie's worst enemy on his program to promote him with a softball interview like they were
He says the word chums, I'm going to freak out.
whatever.
Oh!
What did Charlie Kirk have to say about this?
Oh! What did he imply right there?
Cut 4,
What's that?
go.
Let's go to Nathaniel.
Charlie Kirk with Charlie's worst enemy on his program
What does he mean
to
there?
promote him with a softball interview like they were
Like they were what?
whatever.
Oh, yo!
What did Charlie Kirk have to say about
saying
this?
it.
Cut 4, go.
Let's go to Nathaniel. Nathaniel, thank you so much for being a member. What's on your mind?
Hi, Charlie. As a TPUSA chapter founder and president, I've seen firsthand how the tide is turning among young conservatives. I say, if you truly believe in open debate in the marketplace of ideas, will you ever be willing to debate Nick Fuentes?
So
or will
stop
you
here.
wait
This is
until-
what I get now. Will you debate him? Will you debate Tucker Carlson? I don't debate the Klan. I don't debate Nazis. I don't debate lowlives, poison, cancer in the form of these truly evil people.
Jesus.
Because then it rubs off on you forever. You can't get rid of it. There's video, there's audio. Charlie could have kicked Fuentes' ass. I could kick Tucker Carlson's ass. He's not that smart. And he says the same thing over.
Did he just offer up a tag team match or something? Like, sounded like a wrestling match. Okay, here we go.
Over and over again. But Charlie had no interest in elevating this guy. I have no interest in elevating any of these guys. I'm doing this not because I want to, but because it's a public service, so you know exactly what we're dealing with here. So this is a planted caller, one of Fuentes' guys. I've been warning the substitutes who are filling in for Charlie at the TPUSA events that you're getting a lot of plants in the audience that Charlie would dismiss. We're asking you racist, bigoted, anti-Semitic questions, and you need to respond in kind, not try and intellectualize and rationalize your responses to them. Go ahead.
To adopt his talking points, as we've seen already.
You know, it's funny. I personally do not give a platform to bad faith actors. And I had a whole open about this. And by the way, a really important thing is not to lie and to not bear false testimony. It's fine. I'll answer your question. You know, you said, oh, you know, I want to have a question about Turning Point events. And you obviously lied about your question. Doesn't surprise me because you have deceit. But you know what? Honestly, I'm asked that question all the time. I don't platform trolls. And I don't platform and I don't discuss people or I don't debate with people that are not good faith actors. And
you debate Maoists and people who champion.
They can keep on yelling at how successful we are and our big events and well over 1,000 employees. But there's a lot of jealousy out there. We build, they complain. We succeed, we win. They blame the Jews. Thank you. Next question.
See?
What a dog shit answer
Nothing
by
to do.
Charlie
He wants
Kirk.
nothing to do
He
with
is
these people.
horrendous. God.
Cut 5, go.
I had a quick question about anti-Semitism online. Another question here they asked about Candace Owens, and you know, I'm a big fan of you. I was a big fan of her, but she's obviously been going down this anti-Semitic bent. And through her, I'm kind of finding out about these other characters online, like Nick Fuentes. I'm sure you've heard of him. And these people, they've been active for a long time, and it seems like they've just been ignored, which is working, but now they're kind of surging in popularity. And as someone who I enjoy watching your debates, are they people you'd be willing to engage with and maybe shut them down in a way through a debate or something like that?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to debate Candace. But no, look, I'll debate anybody that shows up at our campus events first and foremost. But I do want to take what you say and extrapolate that there is a corner of the internet of people that want to point and blame the Jews for all their problems. Everybody, this is demonic and it's from the pit of hell. And it should not be tolerated, period. But it goes to the structural problem of an entire generation that has economic resentment. They don't own anything. They're not getting married. They're not having children. They're depressed. They're anxious. They're staring at their screens all day long. And if all of a sudden your extrapolation of all that is, well, it's the Jews' fault, that is sloppy and shallow thinking. And not only that, they say, oh, it's the Jews' fault. Okay, let's kind of play this out. Well, Tuberculosis, that used to
I don't
kill
even think
about a
that's
billion
Nick's
people.
answer, but-
You know, it's a group of Jewish scientists that came up with the antibiotic that cured tuberculosis. How about CPR, the MRI machine? You know, there's over 500 million lives that were saved over the last 50 years because of people that were Jewish scientists that were working on things. They'll never say thank you to the Jews, but they'll always say shame on the Jews. Weird how that works. And finally, they always blame the Jews for stuff. Jewish people are an ethnicity. So therefore, definitionally, you have people that are secular, orthodox, religious, that are all over the spectrum. You're trying to blame an entire ethnicity for a singular problem. Hold on, let's take a step back here. Instead of that, what could you possibly do in your own personal life to improve your own state of being? If you are blaming 0.02% of the world's population for all of your problems, that is not going to be good for your soul. It's not good for your psychology. It's not.
Wow. Charlie is horrendous. I mean, that is a bullshit answer. It's not actually assessing the scenario and actually engaging with this character we call Nick Fuentes. It's just straight up, you know, it's appealing to people's like, oh my God, it's racist. Oh my God, it's racist. Oh my God, it's racist. And you're just hoping they turn their brains off and don't go look up the fucking person. That is not me agreeing with Nick's ideas. It's me saying he's still a human being, and there's layers to you have to actually assess it, right? But you know, it is what it is. That was Charlie's job. He was a professional liar. Mark Levin, professional liar. I think Nick Fuentes is still a little bit on the fence, but like some of the things he says, I'm like, man, you sound like so full of shit. Same with Tucker Carlson. Sometimes they say some things where I'm like, you sound full of shit. But anyways, here we go.
Good for your future in any way, shape, or form. And so I would just say this, that any young person that goes into this hyper online brain rot, you are serving yourself over to your own demise. You are serving yourself into a suicide mission that will not make you happier and not make you healthier. Instead, here's what your attitude should be. Your attitude should be like, I can't own stuff, I got it, can't own a home, I'm not getting married, I don't know who to date. Said, wow, the challenges are immense. I'm going to now overcome all those challenges and go on an adventure. I'm going to prove everyone wrong. I'm now not going to be a victim. I'm going to be a victor. I'm going to dig deep. This is still a great country. This is a free country. I'm going to use my agency. I'm going to use my ability. And I'm not just going to go point in the corner and be like, I'm overweight because of the Jews. Women don't want to date me because of the Jews. How about this? As Jordan Peterson
We need to
would say,
stop
sit
blaming
up straight with your
OJ.
shoulders back, follow the rules for life, make yourself interesting, learn something new every single day, and instead of pointing at a small group of people and engaging in this brain rot, become a better person. You'll be a happier and healthier, more joyful and productive person.
Yeah, that was essentially just a smear. Like, Mark Levin couldn't have said it better. That is what you were that's what Charlie was, let's just be honest. And he's doing, once again, campy, weeby, you know, go eat your vitamins and whatever, eat your vegetables, take your vitamins, you know, version of like life. Instead of adding complexity to it and really like trying to dig through the problem. Anyways, here we go.
Boy, do we
I wouldn't
miss
expect
him.
anything else, to be honest with you.
The great Charlie Kirk. So Fuentes did everything he could to destroy the man, his character, his family, his reputation, his organization. Everything. Day in and day out. He said, I'm not debating him. I'm not platforming him. He sends his people into these TPUSA events. You can hear it by the question. And it's always about Israel and the Jews. And you have stand-in substitutes who apparently aren't aware of this and don't know how to respond properly. Now, Mr. Producer, I want to go to the bottom of the list. Here is...
He's just playing a mixtape.
Tucker-
He's doing what Ben did. Let me just play a fucking mixtape. All right, here we go.
Carlson and Nick Fuentes when Tucker was platforming Fuentes last week. Cut 19, go.
The main challenge to that, a big challenge to that, is organized Jewry in America. I don't think Bill Ackman is capable of that. I don't think Sheldon Adelson is capable of that. I don't think Yoram Hazony is capable of that, for that matter. And many other, on the right and the left. And I see Jewishness as the common denominator.
Mm-hmm. Cut 20, go.
How do you explain Mike Huckabee, Ted Cruz, and there are a lot like that, John Bolton. I mean, I've known
the fucking president,
Bush, like the Karl Rove. I mean, all people I know personally.
I don't know how Tucker misses out on the sitting president. Insane. And Nick does too, as well, by the way. Christ.
Who I've seen be seized by this brain virus, and they're not Jewish. Most of them are self-described Christians, and then the Christian Zionists who are Christian Zionists. Like, what is that?
He doesn't miss it.
Fuentes about Christian Zionists, Christians who support the state.
He doesn't miss Trump.
Yeah, he does.
He perfectly jumps over Trump at every correct time. That you can't do that by mistake.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Even when he's asked about him, right? As a topic, he just jumps all
and
he
Nick
keeps
said
the
a glowing
topics
story.
separate.
Yeah. And Nick said a glowing story, oh my God, I can't believe I'm talking to Trump with Kanye West. Whoa. Incredible. It's like you reference Karl Rove. How many of Nick or even I hope your audience, but how many of your younger audience members and viewers or Nick's audience, how many of these guys know who the fuck Karl Rove is? The fuck? We have the president right there. What the fuck are we doing? All right, whatever. Here we go.
What is that?
So he asks Fuentes about Christian Zionists, Christians who support the state of Israel. Now, is he doing that because he's inquisitive? No. It's all choreographed. He knows exactly what Fuentes is going to say. That's why he invited him. Fuentes is a sock puppet. Carlson is using him to exploit his poison, his Jew hatred, his black hatred, his America hatred. He's platforming somebody who spent years trashing Charlie Kirk. After Charlie Kirk is assassinated, you platform this guy? You don't dismiss him? Everybody's not worth having on your program and questioning. So if you bring somebody in your program and you're questioning them, there's a purpose for it. And it's not clearly knowledge or information or profundity or anything of the sort. He wants this guy to perform like a monkey, like a dancing monkey. And the guy performs, as does Tucker, like a dancing monkey. Go ahead.
Kramer.
I dislike them more than anybody, because what? Because it's Christian heresy, and I'm offended by that as a Christian. That's why.
Christian heresy, to believe in the Bible. For all you Christians listening. Nick Fuentes, cut 18, go.
So to say Judeo-Christian, I'm getting really sick of hearing that because it's an insult and it spits on Christ's sacrifice on the cross. And people that say that should be ashamed of it.
So now we're going to get deep, scholarly, informed religious teachings from Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes, two bigots who despise Christians, who despise Jews, who attack Huckabee and Ted Cruz and others, George W. Bush for their Christianity, because it's not the real Christianity here. No. Say the two great religious scholars. It's not the real, we're just asking questions, and we're giving answers.
This guy is
I got a very strange text this morning from Tucker Carlson. 10:16 a.m. I'll read it to you for verbatim. Good morning, he writes to me. The leadership at Turning Point has asked me to debate you at their event in Scottsdale in December. I'm happy to do it, and I hope you'll agree as well. Beyond the personal insults, which I'll try to keep to a minimum, there are real and important ideological differences between us. And I think the country would benefit from an extended conversation about them. So again, I hope you'll accept. Let me know. Thanks.
Let's be honest, guys. And once again, I'm not a fan of Tucker. You know, as far as character goes, I'm on the fence with the guy about this. Pause. He seems a little shaky in that category, especially when it's like friends involved, quote unquote friends, aka Donald Trump. But just by information I've heard Tucker say, and you only need like 30 seconds of Mark Levin to understand what he's gonna do. Tucker would mop the fucking floor with him because all the facts are on Tucker's side. All the ideas of empathy and corruption and all that shit, Tucker can make those arguments. This guy can't. All he would say is, "You're just anti-Semitic," on repeat. That's all he has. So that's why it's probably a good idea for Mark Levin to not debate him for his own sake. But let's continue.
Let me know. Thanks. The guy is desperate. He's taking a hit on his podcast. He's fighting like hell for his career. He's fighting like hell for his reputation. People are awakening to what scum he actually is. And he thinks I'm going to platform him. He thinks I'm going to help him kick up his podcast ratings. What would Charlie say? What would Rush say? What would any rational response? Here it is. I wrote him the following. My family and I want nothing to do with you. What you've become, your vile libels against my faith, millions of Christians, and in my view, what you seek to do to our country. There's nothing to debate. You're a Nazi promoter. You're the modern-day David Duke. I debate people with whom I disagree for a living, who are a lot smarter than you, but for whom I have some respect. I'm also disappointed in TPUSA that continues to platform you. It's not about free speech. You can be heard by millions regardless. Some unsolicited advice. Stop long enough to remember who you used to be and what you used to stand for. So, as expected, knee-jerk. For the record, I'm strongly anti-Nazi. Does he sound that way to you, America? Oh, you're going to hear more. But that's hardly the point. This seems like the perfect opportunity to rebut what you consider evil ideas and to do it to my face like a man. I think you jump at the chance, assuming you believe your positions are defensible. I'm offering the marketplace of ideas you often talk about. Is it possible you can't really defend, for example, what Israel has done to civilians in Gaza?
There it is.
I said, there you go. You're not feared. You're despised. Well, you're a coward. And if you change your mind, I'm here. Thanks.
Yeah, do it up there.
Bastard, you attack my stepson?
This guy's hilarious. Yeah, oh, look at all the fucking babies Israel's killed in Gaza. Mark Levin can't say anything to that. All I can say is, you're an anti-Semite, and run away. I mean, look at him. They actually, like, coordinated this photo right here. He actually posed for this picture, and he still looks like that. He's a full-blown dweeb, bro. No tough guy about him. There's no intellectualness to him. No wit to him. He is horrendous. He is horrendous. See it in the eyes, bro. Full-blown dweeb. Those eyes have looked out of lockers his whole fucking life. Here we go. I'm sure you've seen toilet bowls too. You know, got swirled a bunch of times. Here we go.
You didn't do that face-to-face, did you? You stabbed him in the back while he's serving President Trump on his second tour, while he's in safe rooms with ballistic missiles passing over his head. You little bastard. Nobody's afraid of you. I'd rather debate a skunk than you.
Weirdo.
And
this guy's
anybody
crazy
with a 43 IQ could see that you are a nut. So Tucker Carlson, who's desperate right now, who's looking for other platforms, he's looking for more Jerry Springer moments. In an act of unspeakable betrayal, he brings Fuentes on his program, who has spent years vilifying vilifying in the most vile and poisonous way Charlie Kirk, his family, and Turning Point USA. Just weeks after he's assassinated, Tucker Carlson thinks it's a good idea to platform this guy. Says he wants to debate. He didn't debate Fuentes. Gave him a massage.
Ah, damn.
I thought they were exchanging spit there for a minute.
Oh,
Wouldn't surprise
fuck.
me.
Yo.
I don't judge.
Yo.
But nonetheless, this is what we're dealing with.
What the fuck?
And so now he's going around looking for new platforms, looking for new opportunities. That's what they do. And here he is with Mother Agapia Stephanopoulos. That's right. George Stephanopoulos' sister. A Jew hater. And somehow Carlson finds her, platforms her, because it's very important, you know, that we ask questions. Very important that we ask questions. I only ask questions. Aren't you sick of that too? Cut 10, go.
It gets back to the thing, though, is that people don't always see the whole story. And we're just flooded with this message that
by the
these
way,
terrorists
it's Mother Agapia Stephanopoulos. Go ahead.
It's absurd. Has any member of Hamas or anybody of a Palestinian come and threatened America as an American? No, that's not what they're about.
No, they've only killed Americans. I mean, they killed American hostages, but why interrupt her, right? Right, Tucker? Go ahead.
But that's the tactic that's used, is that we have to plaster them as being these jihadists when they're nothing like that.
Are they, I mean, I'm sure you've dealt with Hamas.
By the way, during this whole genocide thing, Israel has killed Americans as well. They're lesser Americans because they're Palestinian Americans, right? They're less human, so and they're less American because they're Palestinian, but they are Americans nonetheless. Let's continue.
Or know people who, right? Are they religious fanatics? Are they jihadis?
Not the people that I know. Like I said, when I was again in at the school.
What a tough question. Go ahead.
Teachers, Muslim men, and there were some elections going on, and it wasn't Hamas then. It was the Social Party or something. It was definitely a Muslim religious party. I would have voted for those guys because they weren't corrupt. They wanted to serve their people, and that's what it was about. So I'm not saying it doesn't happen anywhere. I'm not totally ingrained in the community, but
you're saying the early days of this thing that we call Hamas. Maybe they were different. I've heard stories and ideas that they were different, but I right now it's a no-go, right? You can't. They should leave. They should drop their weapons and leave, or just drop their weapons. They don't have to leave. If they were born there or whatever the fuck, like you don't have to leave, but get rid of your fucking weapons. In a healthy world, you say, okay, guys, put the weapons down. It's over. Come back to regular world. Here we go.
Muslim religious party. I would have voted for those guys because they weren't corrupt. They wanted to serve their people, and that's what it was about. So I'm not saying it doesn't happen anywhere. I'm not totally ingrained in the community, but it doesn't. The vibe there isn't one of wanting everybody to convert to Islam and forcing it upon them at all. And the purpose of Hamas is primarily to resist and to protect their people.
Now, how come Tucker, the scholar, the debater, how come he didn't have their 1988 mission statement? How come he didn't read it there? Why is she there at all? Go ahead.
It's not just Palestine and Israel where the Christian population has shrunk. It seems like throughout the Levant.
Yes. And I think that's part of the whole greater Israel project. Isn't it
So the fact that Christianity has been reduced throughout the Arab and Muslim world, it's due to the Jews, you see. And of course, Tucker didn't know she would say that, did he? Go ahead.
Such a big thing.
Targeting Christians.
Targeting Christians, yeah. Well, targeting to make control for Israel, for example, in Syria. I went to Syria in 2004, and I went to the convent of St. Thecla, where...
Now, keep in mind, Assad has murdered 600,000, he's dead, of course, Muslims. And keep in mind, the Israeli IDF goes in, they're trying to protect the Jews and the Christians, as they've gone into Lebanon and trying to protect the Christians there.
Did you just say Assad is dead? Right? Yeah. Also, I mean, the story of Syria, I could go on about. I've done it a million times. Let's just say Mark Levin is a professional liar. Let's go there. And in this case, it's probably like lying by omission. Like Assad definitely killed a lot of people. He did, of his own citizens, people he was going against, yada yada yada. But if someone like Mark Levin designates the quote unquote moderate rebels as they're just civilians and citizens from Syria that are standing up for their own rights, the way this lady maybe is describing Hamas, then yeah, the numbers will be inflated by quite a bit. But either way, like, he's definitely killed civilians. Assad, that is, Bashar al-Assad. But yeah, it's just more to Syria. If someone asks, I'll explain more, but I assume most people already are aware. But all right, here we go. Sorry, most people
Just
that watch
listen to
this
this
channel,
insanity, and of course, this is what they want. This is called propaganda.
You don't know, ask.
By demagogues. That's all it is. Go ahead.
In Malula, where the nuns were kidnapped by ISIS, right? And the population is over 10% Christian, and you have ancient Christian sites as well as vibrant monastic communities there and vibrant churches and hospitals that were run by the church in Syria and Lebanon, right? And now, what have we done? And so Assad wasn't perfect. Saddam Hussein wasn't perfect.
Okay,
but
hold on. Assad wasn't perfect. Again,
he gassed his own
Tucker was very interested when he was debating, sort of, Ted Cruz. How many people live in Iran? Like, anybody finds that relevant to anything. But okay, he can't come back and say how many people Assad murdered. Christians and Muslims? Nothing, not a word.
But he was putting it in, when he's talking to Ted Cruz, he put it in context with, you're a lawmaker actually writing and signing fucking laws that involve this country, Iran, and you don't know anything about it. That's kind of where he was going. Although you can ask anyone any question. I think that's appropriate anywhere. I think the point Tucker was making was that you're in the government. Like, you're actually signing policy, my man. Or you're creating policy, or you're voting yes on policy, whatever. You're endorsing certain policies, whatever. And you don't fucking know anything about the place you want to blow up. It's kind of fucking batshit. It is fucking batshit. But once again, Mark Levin's not here to have he's not going to make honest statements. That's what it is. He's probably become very comfortable with being a liar. Thus, there's probably no, like, if there was like a meter on like his heart, there'd be no flutters in his heart when he just lies openly. Because he does it so often, he's just used to it. He's like a serial killer of facts and truth. He murders truth wherever he can find it. And once he murders enough, he's cold to it. That's my guess. How about you? All right, here we go.
Hundreds of thousands of people. Go ahead.
The Middle East is not the United States. And we tried to impose ourselves there and get rid of these governments who, for all the repression, also...
And it always comes down to hating the United States. These guys, they camouflage themselves in America first, and patriotism, nationalism, populism. And yet they always support the Islamists, the communists, certainly the fascists, the terrorists. That's whose side they come down on.
This guy would run from Jesus.
So now we're trashing the United States.
Guarantee it. He'd run for his life.
Israel, you see, is responsible for wiping out Christians in Syria, not Assad. And the United States is responsible for all of it because, well, we support Israel. Go ahead.
Allowed minorities to survive there.
Including Christians.
Including Christians, yeah. And Christians, yeah.
How about Sharia law? Is that okay? Sharia law.
This guy's not fucking real. They're like, yeah, plenty of Christians live there in harmony with other religions. It's a very kind of like, secular type of country. It wasn't, jihadist or whatever people call it. Mark Levin's like, what about Sharia law? Huh? What about that? Like, what? Just to add to this, Israel did bomb Syria on Christmas while they were celebrating Christmas as a country. These jihadis put up Christmas trees and Santa Claus and Christian iconography everywhere. And, maybe it was a ruse for tricking, other countries, for sympathy or something like that. But they put a lot of effort into celebrating Christmas in like their, in like Damascus, their main cities, right? And then Israel flies over and bombs them while they're doing it. And I think it was on purpose. I think it was on purpose. It's kind of like a fuck you. And they're the weirdos that in government and in the military in Israel, the weird ones, they do some weird shit. What did we just hear recently with what was it? She's the lady that was a minister, and she blew the whistle on gang rapings in Israeli prisons, and then she got in trouble for it. Like, these dudes, like, it looked like at least 7 dudes. 2 of them, like, a couple of them are holding shields up, so it's blocking the camera, so you can't see it. They're raping some dude. They, like, actually fucked up his, like, internal organs and shit. Gang raping him. And that lady got in trouble for exposing it. She got fired. Make that make sense. Anyways, here we go.
Now, most Westerners don't think so.
Good luck to Mark Levin, though. Good luck to him.
With no offense, there's a lot in Sharia law that I think most of us would disagree with. Treatment of women, the use of clothing to cover the face, multiple...
Oh, wait, have you ever seen Assad's wife? She's actually kind of hot. But the point is, you can see her fucking face as the fucking president of the country. Once again, not saying Assad's some fucking awesome person, which is what like liars like Mark Levin do. It's what these guys do in debates. If you say something like where it's like, oh no, you're wrong about this. Like, Assad didn't do this action. What, do you want his team now? Huh? He's an Assad supporter. See? We got him. That's what these guys do. But once again, just being honest, his wife's hot. And the point is, I can see her face. She's not, wearing a fucking headgear and all that shit. Assad wore, like, fucking suits and ties and shit like that, bro. Just saying. Like, why? You don't need to lie about that. There's no reason to lie about shit like that. Are some more orthodox and, like, wear all that garb? Yes, but that happens everywhere across the world. What was the picture of a lady in Israel wearing the full garb? She's Jewish. Her idea in religion, or I guess her family's idea in religion, is they cover their fucking faces. In other aspects of Judaism, you don't fucking do that. There's no reason to, like, they don't believe in doing that. Duh. But then again, look at his face. Look at Mark Levin's face. We fucking know already. It's pretty fucking obvious who the fuck this. I'm telling you, King Swirly. I'm just saying. All right, here we go.
Marriages, I can go on and on and on, but why should I? The expert on Sharia law is Tucker. Cut 12, go.
That should be a value.
Well, you should know, Seth, that the real danger is Sharia law. Sharia law. And you can tell when you go to a place like Abu Dhabi or Riyadh, like, oh man, I hope we don't ever wind up with a society like this with a rape rate of 0, where you leave your keys in your Lamborghini and don't ever worry about it being stolen. And, if people want to get wasted, they do it at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't.
Boy, I hope we don't wind up with that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Tucker's an idiot too.
Is that what's going on in the world, America?
Tucker's an idiot too. But this guy's just
Is that what's going on?
criminally.
The Lamborghinis and women are never raped, you see. Not in the Muslim and Arab countries, never. I wonder what Tommy Robertson, the great patriot in Britain, would have to say about that. I wonder what the women who are in fact...
So he goes to another Korean that we're supposed to... Oh, wait! Tommy Robinson said something? Really? We should trust him, shouldn't we? Another... What do they call it? Another astroturfed character running cover for devil worshippers. Here we go.
fact raped
Another
in
plastic
Muslim
doll.
Arab countries and Muslim countries. I wonder what they think about that. Have anybody ever hear of honor killings? You see, the women can't even speak up if they've been raped. And I could go on and on. There's statistics out there. But here you have Tucker Carlson praising Sharia law and trashing our country. Now, we have real problems with law and order here, thanks to the Marxist Islamists, thanks to the Democrats, thanks to George Soros. No question about that. But fundamentally,
Damn frogs in Portland.
you would compare the laws or the beliefs in the Jewish faith and the Christian faith, but even more than that, the Constitution to Sharia law? You prefer Sharia law? Oh, yes, yes. You know, the Lamborghinis, you can leave your Lamborghini there. That's what I mean. This guy's not real world. He's a head case. He's a moron. But that's not the only.
How does Mark Levin make
The only
any money in
place
the
that
world?
he
I don't understand how
that he promotes is really nirvana in many respects.
I don't know how this guy. How is it? I'm the only viewer of Mark Levin. How is that the case? Like, I should be the only actual person that is watching this video of like ever. He should have zero fucking following, but yet here he is, artificially boosted up here, isn't it? Full of shit, just like Rush full of shit Limbaugh. Full of shit Charlie Kirk. Full of shit Tucker. Remember with Tucker in the Iraq War days? Artificially boosted up in positions of media power to lie to us. I know people believe Tucker redeemed himself or changed his worldview around and really thought about it. I hope so. I would appreciate that. But initially, artificially boosted. Steven Crowder, artificially boosted. Nick Fuentes, they wanted to artificially boost him, but then he said some wrong thing, so thus they tried to push him down. Candace, artificially boosted. The only reason they use these words like talent, like they talk about each other, like, oh, well, he's got some talent, right? Something Tucker might say. It's like it's because you're only being compared to each other. I almost guarantee you people want to hear real people, like regular-ass people talking more than anything else. Not some guy that sounds like yesteryear of politics that can give good stump speeches. Someone who sounds real. I almost guarantee that's the actual poll. That was Rogan's appeal, wasn't it? Some people would call Rogan dumb, but some may just call him like, oh, he's just genuine. He's not trying to be a smarty pants. He's just saying things that he's thinking. Not saying that's the case. I'm saying that's the appeal, or was the appeal of Rogan. So I'm like, how the fuck did these idiots get up here? Like a Mark Levin. Like his, like embarrassingly trash at what he does. Holy fuck. Is it because he sounds like everyday New York type of sounding guy? Is that the thing? It's because he reminds you of something? Instead of like actually being talented, he just reminds you of yesteryear, maybe. Maybe that's the actual appeal of Mark Levin. Do people like Josh Hammer because it reminds them of Ben Shapiro? Meanwhile, Ben Shapiro was also artificially boosted. Holy Christ, guys. Listen, I never make, I don't really ever say anything about, oh, I'm being shadow banned, bro. They're trying to hold me back, But I will point out when I think people are just artificially where the fuck they're at, and how'd they get here? All saying crazy, batshit crazy statements like the ones we're fucking hearing. It's because it's not fucking real. They are artificially boosted, in my humble opinion. But let's continue. There we go.
How about Moscow? He has this in common with Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders loves Moscow, had a honeymoon in Moscow. And Tucker
like
basically had a
Democrat.
honeymoon with Putin.
He's like
Might
a
as well have.
Democrat.
And when they were done, Putin looks at him and he says, I thought you were going to ask me a tough question. No. He saves that for other people, not for you. He likes you. Cut 13, go.
What was radicalizing, very shocking and very disturbing for me was the city of Moscow, where I'd never been, the biggest city in Europe, 13 million people. And it is so much nicer than any city in my country. I had no idea. My father spent a lot of time there in the 80s when he worked for the US government and barely had electricity. And now it is so much cleaner and safer and prettier aesthetically. It's architecture, it's food, it's service than any country, city in the United States that you have to, and this is non-ideological. How did that happen? How did that happen? And at a certain point, I don't think the average person cares as much about abstractions as about the concrete reality of his life. And if you can't use your subway, for example, as many people are afraid to in New York City because it's too dangerous, you have to sort of wonder, like, isn't that the ultimate measure of leadership?
Sure.
And that's true, by the way, it's radicalizing for an American to go to Moscow. I didn't know that, I've learned it this week. To Singapore, to Tokyo, to Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Because these cities, no matter how we're told they're run and on what principles they're run, are wonderful places to live.
Yeah. World's a great place. America sucks. Don't you understand? Now, when you say America sucks, he means Americans suck, because America is not a shiny object. America is what you and I make of it. We have a lot of problems here. So you focus on the problems and the problem makers, the left, the Democrats, the anti-cop forces and so forth. And you don't trash the whole country. But let's talk about Moscow. Moscow is such a fantastic place. It's clean. You can go in the subways and so forth. You open your mouth, you're going to wind up in Siberia. How many people have been assassinated by the government, by Putin's government? How many? He sent 1 million men so far to their death. Mr. Isolationist, except when it comes to Putin, who's an imperialist colonialist trying to take over Ukraine. Then he hates Ukraine, he hates Zelensky, but he loves Putin. So the 1 million people, the 1 million casualties that Putin has caused in what, 3.5 years, really for no reason whatsoever. How are those people working out in Moscow?
Now, here's the funny part is all the war criminal shit you could say about Putin, like it would give Mark Levin a fucking argument. It does. I don't know who's out here dick riding Vladimir fucking Putin. I was like, yeah, he's a fucking devil worshiper himself, in my humble opinion. I'm sure people will make arguments like, oh, he's just defending himself. But come on, son. I've seen his bombs hit playgrounds. There's no way you love Christ and you blow up playgrounds at the same time. I don't believe it. Either you don't know what the fuck you don't understand the whole Christ figure itself, or you're pretending to because it looks good politically. I'm just saying. But the U.S., they funded NATO. Okay. And your response? Blow up playgrounds. Got it. All right, here we go. Genius. Genius move.
Mentally ill. Mentally ill. In my humble opinion. But we're not done. We've got a wide array of genocidal murderers admired by I'm only asking questions. We've got the Iranian president. He couldn't wait to talk to him after the Israelis defeated them and our brave pilots and our bombers took out their nuclear sites, where he was attacking the president of the United States, saying it was going to cause World War III. Me, a Jew, trying to drag us into war, you know? Not the Iranians. No, me, little old me. Go ahead.
We just listened to Trump say, yeah, Israel bombed them first. Yes, we didn't just give the go-ahead. We planned it. And if Iran fires back, look at that. It's Iran's fault. You fucking little cunt. Here we go.
Cut 14, go.
The interview is limited by a couple of factors. One, it was done by remote through a translator. That's always awkward.
See, he's responding to criticism. Why didn't you ask the Iranian president a single difficult question. Why is your head so far up his ass that it's coming out of his right nostril?
Bruh.
Why is that? Carlson. Go ahead.
Persian.
Carlson like, slammed him there or something. But yeah, I actually did cover that little interview, or at least a portion of it. I'm like, yeah, what's the point of having this interview if you're not going to actually ask questions that can get to answers about what I like, right? You could do this a lot better, Tucker Carlson. All right, here we go.
And there are all kinds of questions that I didn't ask the president of Iran, particularly questions to which I knew I could not get an honest answer, such as, was your nuclear program totally disabled by the bombing campaign by the U.S. government?
Oh, that'd be a good question.
There's no chance he's going to answer that question honestly. I didn't bother to ask it. The answer, in fact, from an American perspective, even from the CIA's perspective, is unknowable.
Unknowable.
You're supposed to ask that anyway.
President said it's knowable and it's there, but he says it's unknowable because Tucker is knowable of all things. Go ahead.
And I asked him very simple questions, such as, what is your goal?
We know what you did. We know what you did. The American people aren't stupid. You platformed the guy. You gave him an opportunity to say what he wanted to say. He's a propagandist. You're a propagandist for the enemy. That's what you did. You're being revealed. You're being exposed.
God, I want it.
For what you are.
I just want to, I need someone to just, what is in this guy's psyche? Someone needs to do a psyche eval. This guy, really, what fucking cobwebs are in that motherfucker? What fucking horror movies are just hiding in that fucking skull? Holy shit. All right, here we go.
You're Tokyo Rose in blue jeans. So what we're going to do is go into Tucker, who moralizes with the Prime Minister of Qatar, a nation of 330,000, that, of course, protected KSM. When the FBI came to Qatar to get him, they helped him secretly leave the country, having paid for him and his apartment, and shortly thereafter he masterminded the attack on 9/11. That impressed Tucker. He didn't ask him a single question about that. He praises Nicolas Maduro, the brutal communist murderer who's sending enormous amounts of drugs, including fentanyl, into our country to kill our people and our young people. But he kind of likes Maduro. You see a pattern here, America?
Okay. Sorry for pausing so much, but I have to ask the audience. Anyone listening to this part of the video, I have to ask, there's no way this is he just believes what he's saying, right? He sounds so fucking fake about it and just rattling off the talking points. There's no fucking way you believe that this is a real fucking person right here, right? He's definitely playing a character, right, guys? You can't get tricked by this, right? There's no fucking chance. There's no way that this guy's authentically believes these ideas. It's he's reading a teleprompter, essentially, right? Ideological teleprompter of neocon Americanism, right? Yeah, there we go. Listen, man. I can't say I know, but if this guy got caught in some weird sex parties, bro, I wouldn't be surprised. Here we go. He comes off as that weirdo. A dweeb his whole life, and then it's finally, I made it. Coke and hookers everywhere. All right, here we go.
This guy is obviously a lunatic. I suppose the appeal for these vile lowlives is basically the appeal of a car accident. You know, when you're driving by and you kind of stretch your neck out, you want to see what happened. It's kind of weird, but... Or maybe you like to look at the door peephole in an insane asylum and see if people are bouncing off the walls, you know.
Bruh.
But there's nothing to discuss. There's nothing to debate. This is a mental illness of one kind or another. These are soulless people.
For sure he's looking in a mirror right now. But I wouldn't say soulless.
They're giddy and excited.
He's crazy, but I wouldn't say soulless. I don't believe anyone's soulless.
About talking to some of the most heinous mass murders on the face of the earth.
But there can be dirt covering your soul.
We
don't even fucking see it. Just saying.
and then lying about what they're doing. Charlie Kirk was right. I'm not going to platform or engage or debate people like this. What's the debate? And even more than that, he obviously believed, as do I, why would I build something and then lend what I have done to them to help save their asses? But even more than that, I'm not going to debate some piece of crap who's trashing my stepson. That's a coward. That's a punk. No.
He's a punk.
No real man would sit down and have a discussion with somebody who did that. No damn way. Ask yourselves. Ask yourselves. And then this unspeakable betrayal of Charlie Kirk, bringing Fuentes on weeks after his death. He's so hot for clicks and eyes because his podcast is sinking. And he's figured
crazy,
out
Mark. What the fuck
the more
was that?
disgusting, heinous, racist, bigoted,
He's so
anti-Semitic, anti-American things he can say. Maybe he'll pick up a few 100,000 more listeners. But it won't last. And more.
I bet this guy has like one of those weird sex fetishes where he has to like beat up homeless people to get horny. It's something like weird like that. That's my guess. They bring in random anonymous John Does and Jane Does. They bring them into luxurious hotel rooms and fucking penthouses, and he just beats them with belts. And it makes them horny. That's how weird this guy sounds to me. Like, you know, he's in the creepiest of the creepiest shit you could be into. He's probably into it. He just screams that to me. But here we go.
More than that, he's stuck with this legacy. He's stuck with it. It's tattooed all over his pathetic body.
Yo, pause. You're going way too much into it.
And that's the truth. This guy's imploding.
Pause.
He's destroyed whatever reputation he had. He's lashing out desperately.
Bruh.
He's looking for new avenues. He's looking for suckers to engage him.
Wow. Yo, bro.
It's the truth. For him, it's all about
Yo.
the shekels. May I say shekels, Mr. Producer? Uh-oh. It's all about the shekels.
How about the
You know, my friend Brandon Tatum, this guy's big, retired cop out of Tucson.
Yo,
Tommy
Mark
Robinson, I don't know, but
he's saying some crazy ass shit right now, bro. That shit's crazy. Yo, Officer Tatum, big guy. Real big.
honor this guy out of Britain. He sees what the Islamists have done. They've gone to Israel to see for themselves. They've interviewed Christians. They've interviewed Arabs and Muslims.
In
who are
Gaza?
members of the IDF, who are on the courts, who are in the Knesset.
How about Gazans? Did you talk to any
They
of them?
didn't bring some nun on who's praising Hamas. You see, Carlson is not interested in questions. He's not interested in the truth. He's a propagandist.
If you
They
fall
like
for
to talk
this,
about Hitler.
take
They
an
should be
IQ
talking
test.
more about Goebbels.
Take an IQ test.
Because in
if
my
you fall
humble
for
opinion,
Mark
just
Levin,
my
bro.
opinion,
Good God.
Fuentes and Carlson have a lot in common with Goebbels. Tell the lie, keep repeating the lie, and so forth and so on. They have a lot in common with Saul Alinsky. Target it, personalize it, attack it. In other words, Marxist, Islamism, fascism. What they do is what
It's
has been done in the past,
man, bear,
practiced by
pig.
the worst of the worst.
Man, bear, pig.
The worst of the worst. And they are that. And we have to overcome it if we're going to defeat the radical leftists who want to destroy our country. While these people are destroying our country, you and I, we have a responsibility to history and a responsibility to the future. We have a responsibility to generations who stand behind us and rely on us and generations yet born. This is our responsibility. This is our generation's responsibility. Here's Tucker Carlson with the Prime Minister of Qatar. Cut 15, go.
They're mad at you because you don't have enough transgenders. They're mad at you because you don't put your parents in some institution. Maybe they're trying to break up your families.
Is that what you're mad at Qatar about, America? Are you mad about the fact that they ensured that KSM could plot 9/11? Or that Qatar has put tens of billions of dollars into our colleges and universities, turning our children against our country? Or that Qatar supported Hamas, $1.8 billion worth, and protects many of the Hamas
That was from
leadership
Israel,
members.
you fucking liar.
And I can go
Yeah.
on and on.
Oh,
Are they
my
mad
God.
at Qatar because Qatar is hostile to whatever he just said, LGBTQ or whatever? It doesn't even cross our minds, does it? Does it?
Doesn't cross
I've
President
noticed
Trump's
something
mind.
else about Carlson and Fuentes. They're like obsessed with talking about sex.
What?
They're
What?
obsessed with it.
What?
And I'll get to that in a little later. Go ahead.
What?
It can be a reason. Honestly, I don't know what is.
What the fuck? All right. He just had that whole couple phrases there. I'm just saying pause over and over again because he's saying some wild ass sounding shit. Then I made fun of, like, it's a joke, but it could be true. You know, some sort of like creepy ass like sex thing where he has to, like, he beats homeless children or something to get off or something. Like the fucking, what's his name? The dude from Game of Thrones. He's like, too old. He just wants to beat up the children or something. He like turns them on. After I say all of that, he brings up, well, you know, Tucker and Fuentes is they talk a lot about sex. I'm like, what? Excuse me? Where the fuck do you hear that at? What the fuck? Why is that part of your program? All right, here we go.
No, you don't know.
What is really the purpose behind this? But we see that, you know, a lot of things that are happening are attacks on humanity in general. It's
Tax on humanity, yeah. Qatar should talk, the biggest funder of terrorism in the world. And this
They're
guy's
the
got to be
biggest
looking
funder of
at
terrorism in the world.
Carlson.
You know, Israel gave him that money, right, Mark Levin? They gave him that money to give to Hamas because they can't just walk out and hand a briefcase of money to Hamas in front of everyone. They can't do that, right? But whatever. Didn't they give Trump like a giant, like a jumbo fucking jet or some shit like that, right? They gave him a plane. Wasn't there like a controversy about that? Are you mad at him? The most evil funders of terrorism are one of our allies, Mark Levin. Are you thinking about that? Of course not, because he's a professional fucking liar. And he probably beats homeless people to get horny. Let's continue.
And saying to himself, God, this guy's the gift that keeps giving.
Pause, bro. Yo, he's
we gotta
crazy.
learn from him. Get our boys in here from Al Jazeera. This guy's good.
Yeah.
Sickening. Then he praises Nicolas Maduro. Oh, he'll get around all the other world's genocidal maniacs. Just a matter of time. The only question is if you're going to keep listening to it and watching it. I'm trying to expose the country to this that doesn't listen or watch it so they understand what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with
You're lying, dude. You're almost telling your audience to not listen to these guys in full context so that you can control their minds. And guess what? It's gonna, like, you're not gonna be like, Mark Levin, your content is so dog shit. It's only 80-year-old motherfuckers that don't go outside anymore. They're the ones that are watching your program and maybe buying some of this shit up. You know, the former Bill O'Reilly fans, and when they were 60 years old, Bill O'Reilly fans, Rush Limbaugh fans, Fox News fans. But younger people are going to hear your shit and fucking vomit. And you're going to walk away. They're going to walk away. And those older people are going to not even try to be mean or anything. They're going to get older and pass away and shit. I mean, you're kind of old too, right? So you're going to be donezo, man. And he won't go out gracefully, most likely. Although they'll try to make it look that way. Like, oh, he decided to step down. Like, no. He will be, I mean, the last words on his program before he has to retire, it will still be propaganda. He will take his shining moment of, let's celebrate my career, and it'll probably still be propaganda flying out of his fucking mouth. Like, he's like a lifer. You can tell he's a lifer. Like, he could see a video of a U.S. soldier shoot a baby point blank, or an IDF soldier shoot a baby point blank for no fucking reason, and he'll spin up a story to make it sound different. That baby was laced with explosives, so actually that soldier just saved a bunch of lives right there. He would spin it. That's how dedicated this fucking guy sounds. Like, holy Christ. And by the way, this is only, once again, second time reacting to this guy. No, I think it's actually the third time reacting to this guy. And you can just tell. The thing I'm trying to, the thing that I wish Dave Smith had, where it's like, oh, fuck, you're full of shit, aren't you? Let's ask questions to find out if you're full of shit. Show him the video of soldier killing baby for no reason. I mean, there's never is a reason for that, right? But you know what I mean? No reason. And watch him spin it. And once you hear that, okay, you're full of shit. Gotcha. You're caught. We got you. That was your IQ test. You failed it miserably. You're full of shit. I will use the rest of my time here debating you to tell everyone else, no, you're full of shit. Because we can't get to actual topics if the person's just a liar the whole time. If they're going to take a certain stance, no matter what, every single time, and it comes from the State fucking Department. Maybe the Padawan Dave will learn one day. Maybe he'll figure it out. Here we go.
On balls. That's what we're dealing with. Now Maduro. Cut 16, go.
So the question is why? Why are we doing this? Why are we so opposed to Nicolas Maduro? So if you ask someone on the street, random person, why are we against Nicolas Maduro? The answer you're going to get is, who's Nicolas Maduro?
No,
but if you
actually, stop putting down the American people. They're not stupid.
Like, hey, on the mainstream level, guys like you are the only ones talking about Maduro, and you're talking to, no offense, senior fucking citizens. That's your audience, my man. And you're not even being honest or fair or correct about Maduro in any measurement of assessment. Not even fucking close. Don't call American people stupid. Like, let's be honest. Most of them don't fucking know anything about Maduro. They might not even know the fucking name Maduro. Anyways, here we go.
Why don't you go to the place where the people live who are refugees from Venezuela and ask them what about Nicolas Maduro? Why don't you ask serious questions?
I mean, he is George W. Bush
Because you're an
neocon
unserious
level
person.
shit
Go
existing
ahead.
in 2025.
in South Florida, for example,
How'd
who
your
knows who
career
Nicolas
not crumble
Maduro
yet?
is, who can identify where Venezuela is on a map, that person will almost certainly say, well, because he's a communist or a socialist, he's exceedingly left-wing, and that is true. Nicolas Maduro and his government are very left-wing on economics, not on
they're
social.
communists. They are sending killer drugs into our country via Mexico.
Not calling him evil enough.
This is what I mean. So he's stabbing Trump in the back. He's undermining Pete Hegseth. He's undermining Marco Rubio. He's undermining J.D. Vance, for that matter.
Good.
This administration is committed to trying to prevent what is a narco, essentially communist, who is having to sell drugs and drug paraphernalia through Mexico with the assistance of communist China, pouring it into our streets, pouring it into our homes, killing American citizens and young people. And this a-hole wants to know what the problem is. You think President Trump is just playing games, America? No.
Yeah. Well, it's not games. It's policy to fuck the world up. Because he is also a fucking devil worshiper. His motives are not clean, in my humble opinion. Good luck trying to explain otherwise. Either Mark Levin or a fan of Mark Levin or a fan of Trump. The evidence is overwhelming. It's overwhelming. Here we go.
So they don't agree with Trump. They don't agree with conservatives. They're not MAGA. They're maggots. Go ahead.
Oh, shit. I bet he wrote that
in
one down.
Venezuela,
Maggots.
gay marriage is banned. Abortion is banned. Sex changes for
This is what I'm
transgender-
saying. You see the obsession, Mr. Producer?
He's obsessed with sex.
So we have a problem with Venezuela, a problem with Qatar, and other problems over sex or sex changing or something like that. Is that why Donald Trump is hitting these ships? Because of sex changes?
They're boats, not ships.
Exposes thousands of young people, college students, to this guy. Especially given his unspeakable betrayal of Charlie Kirk by putting one of the most loathsome quasi-human beings.
Is he crying?
Fuentes, all 3'8" of them.
Nah, this guy, he killed his conscience.
On his program.
He killed his feelings.
I don't know. Just call me loyal and rational. Never happened. I wouldn't allow it. That's just me.
It
That's
can
just
rise
me.
again. It just, for now, it's dormant, dusty.
Go ahead.
And
under the fucking bed
it's one
somewhere.
of the very few countries in the entire hemisphere.
Hey, shut up, you idiot. You're annoying me. Give me a headache. Then he brings this guy, Daryl Cooper, on. Victor Davis Hanson had some words for him in the Free Press. You know, he's one of the leading historians. Victor says, excuse me, nobody views him as a historian, but Tucker does. And in part, here's why. Cut 17, go.
I thought Churchill was the chief villain of the Second World War. Now, he didn't kill the most people. He didn't commit the most atrocities. But I believe, and I think when you really get into it and tell the story right and don't leave anything out, you see that he was primarily responsible for that war becoming what it did, becoming something other than an invasion of Poland. You know, Germany, look, they put themselves into a position, and Adolf Hitler is chiefly responsible for this, but his whole regime is responsible for it, that when they went into the East in 1941, they launched a war where they were completely unprepared to deal with the millions and millions of prisoners of war, of local political prisoners and so forth that they were going to have to handle. They went in with no plan for that. And they just threw these people into camps, and millions of people ended up dead there.
Yeah, folks, the documentary evidence is overwhelming. This was planned. The entire thing was planned. The camps were planned to slaughter as many people as possible. They didn't go into the war unprepared with the countries that surrounded Germany. This guy is an absolute kook. But Carlson platforms him. Churchill's the villain. The Third Reich is misunderstood. None of you heard of Daryl Cooper before. But here's the last one.
What?
Here's the last one. Recently.
I think he was on Rogan before he was on
I told you he's obsessed with sex. And not necessarily the good kind of sex. I think somebody once told me if you're obsessed with talking about sex, you don't get much. Now, we know that's true with little Adolf. Prepubescent little Adolf. But take a listen to this. Go.
His sexuality is his own thing, but if it's based on kind of his psychosexual urge for violence, that's a problem.
Let's stop lying. Okay,
Lindsey Graham.
I'm not being mean. This is a very recognizable phenomenon that has reoccurred throughout history, and it is tied up in your personal life. And I'm not even talking about his sexuality. I mean, the way that you live reflects your values, and it affects your opinions on everything. And so if you have children and grandchildren, you have by definition a vested interest in stability and peace. You're instinctively opposed to violence. You lie awake as the head of household thinking, if there's a home invasion, what do I do? Yeah. Like, that's how your brain works.
Absolutely.
What?
I believe Stalin had children and grandchildren.
I don't even know
How
what the
did
fuck
his
he's
brain
talking
work?
about.
You stupid little bastard. That was 2 hours of the most important, greatest radio in the history of radio. I'm going to send it to Rush's Hall of Fame to be placed on the shelf with that. We're packaging this together. By the end of the program, we will have it all for you. We will put it on the internet. We'll make sure the whole world has it available, mostly
stuff from this crazy fucking person. And yeah, there's plenty of things to go at Tucker for, but like this guy, you can't be the one, bro. To go back to kindergarten, my man, and learn some ethics. But all right, there's crazy Mark Levin. There's your video. Please subscribe if you feel like. Comment, agree, disagree. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Like, no one believes that he believes everything he's saying, right? There's no way, right, guys? Like, for sure, they see an imposter on their screen right now, right? For sure. Like, oh, this guy will say whatever the State Department tells him to say. He will do it. Like, there's no other way around this, right? Like a clear shill. I mean, he probably, when he's snoring and he started talking in his sleep and shit, he's probably whispering fucking propaganda because he's so programmed to do so. Yes, guys. And look at him, bro. Look at him. Come on. You know the powder puffs when you see him, bro. For sure, this guy got bullied his whole life. Come on, son. Oh, God. There's nothing wrong with getting bullied. You know, if you become a better person from it. But if you become a cunt like this guy, yeah, you're a full-blown dweeb. You fully transformed. Congratulations. Turn your life around. Mark Levin, turn your fucking life around, my man. Not worth it. But you tell me in the comment section. Hey, good guy. If I find a Mark Levin fan somehow in the comments, I'm like, holy shit, are you real? I'm gonna ask questions and shit. Like, oh, can I interview you? How do you fall for this shit? Like, if you're an avid Mark Levin fan, you probably are the worst educated on foreign policy on the planet. I kid you not. You're probably the least informed on foreign policy in the entire fucking world. Or amongst the worst. But whatever, tell me in the comment section. Don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Also, check out the Discord link if you want to join that. We are in that Discord right now. Want to be famous? Come on in. Pause. All opinions are welcome. And obviously, everything I showed you will be linked in the description box. You don't have to hear me pausing it, making fun of Mark Levin, calling him a devil worshiper, making fun of his looks. If you don't want to hear that stuff, please just go watch Mark Levin on your own, although I don't recommend that. I really don't. Watch it with YellBro. Have some fun, you know? Mark Levin by himself is probably boring as fuck. I'm just saying. But, yeah. If you don't want to hear us, just watch the video on your own. And with all that said, please give this video. Actually, I have to do this. Once again, I don't even like Tucker or Nick Fuentes like that. Like, I'm not fans of these guys. But I have to do this. I don't care. This guy's so full of shit. I never do this, by the way. I never give thumbs down to anyone, except maybe myself. He deserves it. He earned it. So with all that said, give Mark Levin and this video a thumbs down.